Hey, welcome back to Engineers Workshop, day 60 in the war in Ukraine. So I got a cool video for you today. It's not going to be super long, but it's a first chips video for the Acraturn lathe. If you recall, this lathe made a trip from Doozer's shop in North Carolina, South Carolina, up to Richmond, got dumped on the side of the road, and then recovered, and outside of sheet metal damage and a few little things that broke, we finally got it back to a point where it's running. Had to reproduce a motor mount bracket that broke. It was cast iron, made that out of steel. Got belt sized up. There were a number of broken gears inside the housing, which was an existing condition that Doozer had, and he had bought replacement gears. So I went through and replaced all the gears that were broken in the headstock, and the machine runs, it spins, it sounds good. It is now in need of some serious cleanup, so I'm going to try to do a reasonable job cleaning it up and then turning some material to check it out. I don't have a proper tool post. I don't have proper lathe tooling. I got some hand ground cutters from my father-in-law, but we'll get you over and fast forward through the cleaning process, and then I'll make some chips for you on the Acraturn 1340. I don't know if I have two oil reservoirs on the carriage or one. There's two fill points, one sight glass. I'll try adding some to this one over here and see if it brings the level up on the sight glass. I see a second sight glass way down, maybe not, nope. So I don't know. Let's see what we've got here. No movement yet. How full is too full when you don't know? Well, this is going to be my test piece for my first chips video for the Acraturn. It is brass. It is a lift nut for a 2-inch Acme screw Duff Norton screw jack. You may wonder, if it's brass, why is it black? This came out of a wastewater treatment plant, and the nut failed. This thread is actually completely sheared off. This was a 10-ton screw jack, but the combination of abrasive particles from the installation of the equipment and lack of correct lubrication lapped those threads until they were gone. So there's where it was mounted up, so you can see that the surface was originally a brass or bronze color. I'm just going to face this, turn the OD a little bit, play with it, and then maybe turn it around and bore it on the inside if I can get a boring bar in there. So let's make some chips. Well, I've done a reasonable job cleaning up the saddle and carriage. Everything is nice and free. This is the stock tool post that came with the lathe. 3-jaw chuck. It's about an 8-inch chuck. And our test piece that we're going to be turning. I'm going to get that into the chuck, and let's mount this hand ground carbide tool of my father-in-law's in the tool post. I'm going to set the tool post at 90 degrees so I have some fine control of in and out. Through the cleaning process, I uncovered how many little oiling points that I didn't know that I had. They're basically all over this machine. I think these were the two that were in decent shape. All of the verniers have both inch and metric dials. And I don't have the correct size T-wrench for this. I believe it's a 12 millimeter. 448. Got about 350 RPM. I'm going to touch off and then face this. Just take a shallow cut. So let's take a 5/1000 cut. I wondered what the noise was. It's the holes. It's an interrupted cut. And we're just inside the holes, so the noise is going away. Brass makes everybody look like an expert, right? Pretty nice. Let's reposition and we'll do a cut on the OD. This is a 10 thousandths depth of cut. That is just too pretty. Tiny bit there's a scratch that didn't clean up. I'm going to go ahead and reverse the jaws and grab the OD, and then we'll try to bore the ID. Gonna have to be careful on this one because I've got to stop when I get to that shoulder. Hear that rumble when I get to the holes? Beautiful. Let's switch over to a boring bar, if I can fit one. If you don't look too closely at what's underneath here, this skinny boring bar will just reach through that nut. So I'm going to take very light cuts. Hopefully that grease will clean up from the inside, and we'll just take it until it cleans up to a nice straight bore. You can see the original threads. there's our first piece. Tell you what, is a finish on brass ever not beautiful? And it's just silky smooth. There was some kind of a recess in the center of this bore. I didn't take it till it fully cleaned up, but I just played with the boring bar to get a feel for it. All of the outside corners were already pre-chamfered. There's still some residual blackening from the hydrogen sulfide, but everything else, beautiful new fresh surface. So hope you enjoyed that. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing some first chips video off the Acraturn, even though they were in brass or bronze. That ACME lift nut was a pretty cool piece to work. Just got it out of the scrap, and the blackening was a result of hydrogen sulfide chemical attack of the surface, which also happens to pennies if you have them in your pocket and you are in wastewater treatment plants. Brasses, bronze, copper, they all turn black in that atmosphere. So we'll continue cleaning it up and testing it, try to get some better tooling for that little tool post. Some of the threads are stripped out in the jack screws, but I'll work with what I've got. And got projects already lined up for it from my son, making parts for his Spitfire motor adaptation into that Spitfire frame, the VW TDI engine. So he's got to remote mount some of the accessories just behind the radiator. So there's a lot of little things to make for that project that the Acraturn will come in handy for. So catch you next time again on Engineers Workshop. Pray for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, and as always, until next time, stay safe.